and kills, and she's on the right side. I mean, she is going to be fun to watch tonight.
It is Carlson with service to get us started, and Duke with a clean look for Taylor Williams.
Yeah, and putting Taylor Williams there on the right side, giving her a different look there.
So Williams back to serve now. This is where Duke really shined in the match against Pitt on Friday. They got off to a hot start in the first set, and that one goes out.
And that was a good aggressive swing by Ashby Zupchevich. You know, that one's if you're going to air, she's trying to go for that sharp cross around the SMU block. I think you can live with that one as you get in rhythm.
Kennedy Rogers strikes the serve hard, and it's a point for Duke. Zupchevich again on the outside forces a deflection to the outside.
And that all started with a great pass by Duke's libero Godshall and allowed Charlotte Glass, like we talked about, to have a nice in-rhythm set to Ashby.
Just grazes the top of the net, and SMU finds the space in between everybody. So that'll get it back for the Mustangs. There's Jolene Nagel, head coach for this Duke program, 27th season. But a unique season, as she described to us earlier. It's been a long time since she's had a team this inexperienced, this young, this malleable. Good rally here. Mustangs get it back over. Blast to the outside. Zupchevich points it for the Blue Devils.
And what set Zupchevich up for a successful swing was, prior to that, Charlotte Glass getting Ngazi Elo involved in the middle sets, in the middle attack. So keeping SMU's blockers a little bit on their heels opened up that offensive option for Zupchevich.
Pass goes forward. Great save by Godshall, and it's blocked at the net.
Favor Anyanwu, she is such a wall up there in that middle. That was how, in that Friday night match against UNC, set 4, when they just dominated UNC, it was a lot because of her blocking.
Anyanwu, one of 2 USC transfers on this SMU team. And the cross knocked out of bounds. So back and forth we go here in our opening set. Zupchevich back to serve for the Blue Devils. Leads the team in service aces with 23 on the year and sends it a bit long.
And that's an error, a service error, that I think you can be okay with when you're Duke. When you're serving aggressively, there's good errors and there's bad errors. A bad error is into the net. You don't even give the other team a chance to make a play on it. A ball that's aggressively served, you know, a little bit, few feet out is, I think, okay.
And Wilburn on the other side answers with a service ace of her own. That is her team high 33rd. Way too strong that time. But again, that's give and take, right? And most teams would rather you be aggressive and take the aces while giving the errors sometimes.
Exactly, and it's also when you make those errors in key moments. You know, if you have a great momentum shift, you want to keep it in. Right there, you're just trying to gather some points and you want to be a little bit more aggressive.
Carlson to the outside, and that is a vicious swing by Kennedy Rogers, who's been huge for SMU as of late.
Yeah, she just rips the ball. She sees sharp crosses wide open as Duke's block kind of floats to the right there and takes full advantage.
Their head coach Sam Erger says of Kennedy, she's really capitalized on this opportunity with a couple of starters out of action lately. Maturing at a fast rate. Too hot on the swing. Taylor Williams gets it back for Duke.
And that's a really good out-of-system ball by Charlotte Glass. She put up a nice kind of floater ball to Taylor Williams on the outside. Didn't try to force too much, and that's what she has to do as a young freshman, as she, you know, when you're off the net that far. don't try to do too much. Just give your hitters a good hittable ball, which she did in that moment.
Glass with the left-handed serve. Ooh, back row strike for Jones. And now a dump over. And Carlson scores for SMU.
And there's that experience you're seeing from Avery Carlson. Really smart play, seeing that Duke's defense was back on their heels a little bit. Godshaw saw it, but just a little bit too late, and she took full advantage of that chair area.
Williams, a tap. Carlson across for Rogers. Duke's got it covered nicely, though. Glass up for Williams. Knocked back, and SMU with the point.
And SMU's block is doing some good work early on in this set one. You know, in the ACC, they rank 5th in block, so they're a pretty decent blocking team. They're doing a really good job to start the set tonight.
Nice recovery by Duke on the attack, but SMU cleanly follows it up. And Rogers again. Now Rogers and Jones, the combination looming large up toward the net so far in this one for SMU. Glass up high. That's a big swing from Brianna Goss. Good to see her get involved if you're a Duke fan.
Absolutely, and that's what Duke has to do offensively is get their middles involved early. And I love how up in the air and available Brianna Goss was as the ball was coming into Charlotte Glass's hand. She's really good middle to watch.
Carlson back set. Jones right to Williams. A little high for Williams to receive, and SMU gets the point.
Malaya Jones is so powerful on the right side, whether it's front row or back row. I mean, she just hits a hard, fast ball.
Difficult first pass. Subchevich, a high swing, and it stays high out of bounds.
One of those ones that just got away from her a little bit.
Rogers slams it long, and it's out of bounds, so it'll go back to Duke's service.
And that's an aggressive serve. You know, she just let that one rip, and it went a little long, but that's an aggressive serve that you can live with.
Libero Sarah Frazee enters in place of Rogers for SMU, who gets a nice look for Maggie Croft. And suddenly they're up 3 in this first set. Up 4, forgive me. Jordan Schilling on service for SMU. A tap out of bounds. Tacks on another for the Mustangs.
Now you're seeing a bit of a misconnect between Charlotte Glass and her middle. Ngazi Elo just needs to get that ball a little higher. Ngazi can jump really high and reach really high, so you have to set to where they can reach.
Glass up, Subchevich. That is perfectly executed. It started with Williams, the pass clean to Glass, the setter, and you get it to your leading kill scorer on the season.
Absolutely, you can see there that favor on Yanwu had to hang with Ngazi Elo just a little bit and respect her, and that's why she was a little bit late to close that outside block.
Out of the outside, deflected at the net, so SMU's going to get the point there. And you can see it. We talked about it as we came on. When Charlotte Glass for Duke is able to get a clean set off, and it a lot of the time can depend on that first pass. It's a Duke offense that really works well in system. It's the adjustments when things go a bit awry that have caused them issues.
And a lot of that is an experience as a setter, being a freshman setter, getting in rhythm. You know, those are things she's going to learn as she develops.
15 to...
But also Jordan Schilling getting really good balls in serve receive and defensively so they can run that offense.
Leah Jones on the service, and Ashby Subchevich goes right back to Jones. So Duke with the point. Subchevich back for service again.
She saw a line and she took it. That was a really nice swing, seeing that gap. and threading that needle down the line.
They're kind of trading shots at this point. Just going right at a player from the opposition and trusting that they're going to be too much to handle. So point Mustangs. Krista Wilburn steps to the service line. Just long.
Both teams are really going at it in the serve. They know that that's how they're going to neutralize each other's offense, so they have to stay aggressive.
Ooh, awkward first pass. SMU's got to get it over. They do. Glass a clean look. Williams taps and points it for the Blue Devils.
It's a really smart play by Taylor Williams, seeing that the SMU defense was playing her deep. Good in-system set by Charlotte Glass, and she takes full advantage of a nice high over the block tip in the center of the court.
Carlson up for Rogers. And they made that one look easier. Forgive me, that's favor on Yanwu.
And she is so powerful. When she gets going, there is no stopping her. So SMU would love to get their middles involved more when they're in system and out of system, because they can be really a powerful threat.
Glass has to make a run for it for Williams, and it is tucked in on that back line.
Duke this season has been hit or miss when they're out of system in putting that ball down, taking really good big swings, and that's a great example of a good controlled set out of system by Charlotte Glass and Taylor Williams, putting it into an area of the court that is tough to receive, and if they did get it, it would cause some chaos. It's a really smart heads-up play there.
Near set to the middle, unsuccessful for SMU. Now they go to Rogers.
Kennedy Rogers, only a freshman, and she's doing a really nice job. She's not making a lot of errors. She's putting good balls on the court and taking smart swings like that one.
Free opportunity, and Jones scores it for the Mustangs. Got to limit those if you're going to pull off an upset.
Absolutely. Those are the little details that you have to make sure you clean up on your side.
Duke calls a tie in this first set here, and just make that not a conversation anymore. Glass up top. Goss with a good swing, but SMU all over it. Glass again in system. Goss hammers it down.
This is a rotation. Brianna Goss is really effective in front and behind the setter, and Brianna Goss and Charlotte Glass seem to have a really good rhythm tonight, so taking full advantage of that would be key for Duke to close this gap.
Williams creates a tricky scenario, and SMU unable to get it over.
Great hustle by SMU, starting with Jordan Schilling, keeping that ball up in the air defensively. Just a little too far away to get that ball back over the net.
Carlson up, blocked. Schilling gave it her best shot to try to save it, but it's Duke's point.
Great block here by Brianna Goss, reading their middle and fronting her, seeing her move. It wasn't a straight-on set, but she read that. Nice close on the block. That's
3 straight Duke points out of the Duke timeout. Another tricky serve handled. Schilling with the set. Now Glass out for Zubcevic, and it's blocked by SMU, so they stop the rally.
And that's a big block that Zubcevic has to work around. Jones and Croft up there taking up a lot of space. She's got to get a little bit higher over that shot selection.
Back set, and that's inbounds. Avery Hamlin with her first kill of the evening.
Yeah, Great pass, and again, we talk about when they're in system, Duke has a really strong offense, and so it starts with the pass, and then Charlotte Glass can run all of her options.
Carlson saves it with a back set. Duke now on the other end. Hamlin strikes it. Zemčević unable to keep it in.
I think you're seeing a bit of a difference right here between SMU's offense and Duke is Duke has to be ready for long rallies. They're not going to be a team that kills it on the first or second pass. They're going to have to wait for their opportunity to find that open gap, and so they have to be patient on defense. That's a nice transition there. Off pass, not on the net, but Charlotte Glass forcing the middle, getting Ngazi Elo involved. A lot of times when you're off the net like this, you don't expect the middle to get set, and so you're late on the block. That gave her a lot of room to swing.
Again, Taylor Williams with the first touch and pass there. Carlson a save at the net, and the point goes to Duke. Net touch.
They're calling SMU on a backcourt attack, so
okay, yeah.
Someone from the backcourt had set the ball while they were in front of the 10-foot line, and then SMU had been above the plane of the net when they sent that ball over.
And Glass with the little off speed. Sends it over herself with that nifty left. Duke's within one here.
Love to see an aggressive setter, and Charlotte Glass being a lefty, she can really take a strong crack at the ball, and so would love to see her do more of that because it just holds the block on the other side and makes them respect her as an attacker when she's in the front court. And Duke is really doing a great job of just being patient right now and taking it point by point, and they've brought this into 1 point now, and this is quite a back and forth match, so Duke just needs to stay patient, be ready for long rallies, and not get too frazzled like they're doing.
It's a very young team, as we've illustrated all year long. That does assume that some growth takes place throughout that season, right? I mean, there might not be more growth in a college career than from the beginning to the end of your first year. That second year, you can see some big jumps too. That's the majority of the Blue Devils players. And finishing sets has really been the bugaboo in this recent run of dropping their sets, right? I mean, they have had nice flashes, as they did Friday against Pitt to start set number one, but then they lost it after a Pitt timeout and recollection.
Absolutely, and you know, when you've got the speed of the game is so much faster when you go from club to college, and you have a lot more highs and lows when you're learning and you're playing some really good teams. I mean, the ACC is one of the best conferences for volleyball in the country, and so you have to start to eliminate those highs and those lows and become more steady. SMU has a lot of young players too and newcomers, but in their key positions they have experience and wisdom that can help kind of steady the ship when the waves become a little too up and down.
Back and forth, Carlson back for Jones. It's saved off the floor, so Duke stays alive. Rogers taps it. Blue Devils again survive. Carlson for Jones, and she puts the finishing touch on the point. What a rally.
What a rally. That's some good scrappy defense by Duke. You can see some great ups here, just trying to keep it alive, trying to put it to a place that causes some chaos, but when you leave one-on-one Malaya Jones on the right side there, that's a hard ball to defend.
Glass back, and it's down. Elo with the spike.
And the middle's doing some work on the Duke side. It's great to see the middle's involved, and she's really good off of 1 foot, as you saw there. So keeping that going is going to be key for Duke to close this gap.
Carlson off the back row. Jones tucks it into the corner.
She is so powerful from the front court and the back court, like you just saw there. It's almost like you can't tell where she's hitting front court or back court because she takes the same aggressive approach and swing on the ball no matter where she's hitting from.
Glass tried to sneak it over top. Williams, Glass again. Nice dig by Schilling. Williams this time. Little medium swing, trying to catch SMU off guard. Williams off of 1 foot, sent right back. Glass up. Williams a little behind her, and it's long.
And that's where you see the difference there. Duke was in scramble mode most of the time during that rally, and that location is so important for your hitters to be able to take a good swing on it. SMU is able, in scramble mode, to stay composed and controlled with their decisions and their location, allowing their hitters to take good cracks at the ball, where Duke was just let that scramble mode cause a little too much chaos. Realities and experiences and emotions, and so just to be able to learn and from other coaches at your organization is great. And yeah, a lot of what she said was just repeating and repetition and making sure you can't just say it once and expect them to remember it. You know, there's so much that they're learning and absorbing every day, and experiences that they're figuring out. So you have to just be consistent with your coaching and your teaching so that they.
Wilburn hits it hard for the ace to conclude the first set. Duke gave SMU all they could handle, 25-21 though. It goes to the Mustangs. On to the second set when we return from Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Because one of the other tough parts about having new people and having a new team is how do you play together? And they've been able to play really well together. And that's been very an unselfish approach by them of, hey, we're new, but we have a mission and we have focus and a goal, and they are all executing on that this season.
Krista Wilburn gets the scoring started in the second set. Now it's back to one of those transfers, Jordan Schilling, previously at both West Virginia and High Point. She was the Libero of the Year in the Big South Conference a season ago. Jones hits it hard, and it just sticks and drops to the floor for the point. She's tied up Duke players several times in this one. Just with the velocity and sometimes the placements. Taylor Williams with a big swing. She got going early in set number one. That was part of Duke giving SMU that scare.
Yeah, she did, and she's been hitting on the right side today, which is a bit of a different look for her, but she's been taking a lot of advantage of that new position for this match.
Serve goes into the net. Something else Williams did great in that first set was getting the offense off onto smooth waters, if you will, with her first passes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you're also seeing,
great dig by Gottschall. Carlson straight up and straight down on Yanwu with the point.
You could hear the thud when the ball hit the floor all the way up here. I mean, she just rockets it. Great recognition there by Gottschall on the setter attack by Carlson, but then one-on-one, just wrist away, cuts that to area 5 so powerfully.
Carlson up, Jones from out of nowhere.
And when Carlson sets Jones this right back ball, it is fast. It is not a high loopy set. I mean, it is almost a second tempo ball where she's on her second step of her approach when she's setting that ball, which is almost, and there you can see SMU's hitting percentage, 800 to Duke's for the match, around 100. And this set is 500, but I mean, the SMU is getting everyone involved, from Jones in the backcourt to the front court. Their middles involved. I mean, the distribution from Carlson is a really nice balance across all their attackers.
Service goes out of bounds to give it back to SMU. Something that you had just talked about too, with all the transfers on this SMU team, chemistry and kind of meshing, and that's college athletics today, right? In a lot of scenarios, but that set for Jones a couple of points ago requires a level of trust and kind of being on the same wavelength that these two did not play together a season ago, right? So right. It's very impressive.
Absolutely. I mean, same too with Onyanwu and many of the attackers for Carlson they've had to develop over the summer and into the preseason a connection quickly, which is impressive at the level that they've done that with in this time they had.
Duke scrambles to get it over, but Carlson to Onyanwu again.
And she is working. I mean, young middles, if you were out there, watch her. She is up and available no matter where that ball is passed. It does two things. One, it holds the blocker on the other side so they can't go and release to their pin attackers to block. And two, it gets you more sets because the setter then trusts that you're going to be there when she does set you.
Jones the first pass. Carlson out for Rogers. You called it a well-oiled machine offensively earlier. This is SMU seemingly getting in stride.
I mean, watch the tempo. Their tempo of the pass is fast. The tempo of the set is fast. I mean, they run a fast offense, and you're really seeing that in this second set, even more so than the first. You can just feel the tempo on their side as they're trying to run things fast, so it opens up more gaps. It doesn't give Duke's defense time to set up or to get a double block on them.
Fourth service error for SMU. Carlson maintains it for SMU, and then a block at the net. Wow, almost a scrappy point for the Blue Devils, and they get the block on the outside.
Great job by Duke capitalizing on an out-of-system SMU team. Great coverage there, kept it alive, and then they reset quickly to take advantage of that out-of-system swing. So really nice patience there by Duke's defense.
Elo just sort of swiped it to the backcourt. I thought they were going to get the point there. Third touch is over for the Mustangs. Glass. Williams can't get it to the floor. And Jones with a big swing.
Yeah, that's a big swing by Jones, and Taylor Williams was not set or in a good position for that block, and so just got her left hand used here by Jones.
Long swing to get it over for the Blue Devils. Carlson, Rogers in again. It's SMU's point.
Yeah, and watch the speed. You know, SMU, Kennedy Rogers is not, she jumps really well, but she's not a high-flying hanger. So SMU's speed of their set from Carlson is pretty fast. So she's jumping really well, but hitting a very flat, fast ball, which allows her to pick it off and hit different angles quickly through the seam of the block.
Jones. Duke able to receive it and get it back over. Here's Rogers, a tap over. Williams with the save to keep it alive and get the point for the Blue Devils.
Wow, that was a great hustle by Avery Carlson. I mean, she kept that ball alive as best she could, but great patience there and that long rally by Duke, and that's what they're going to have to do, hang in and expect and be comfortable with long rallies.
Gazi Elo, tight serve. Zubčević ahead, Glass tried to swipe it over herself. Elo the dig, Williams now falling away. Jones, Elo saves it. Williams, a huge swipe at it, and Duke scores the point.
Yes, what great defense by middle Ngazi Elo. Clearly SMU attacking to her, knowing that she's a middle who's not used to playing a lot of defense. And then great swing by Taylor Williams on an off-speed shot to be aggressive and not really take anything off of that.
Elo now on the serve. Over for Rogers. And that is perfectly executed. Kennedy Rogers continues to do damage here in set two.
I mean, the speed at this set, you can see there, Duke's block just did not get set up and left her all options wide open to swing on that ball.
Sixth kill of the afternoon for Kennedy Rogers. And Goss dunks it over top of the net on the set from Glass.
Yes, and again, she is another middle who is up and always available. She works her tail off to be up and available, even when the pass is not right to the setter, and there you can see it translates into a point.
Carlson back for Jones, and it's across and out of bounds. Point goes to Duke.
And this play starts with a really smart, aggressive serve by Charlotte Glass to the outside attacker for SMU. And when you want to serve at the outside attacker that's pulled back to pass, because it hopefully gets them out of rhythm, they have to work a lot harder to pass and then transition to swing. So you saw there 2 passes in a row, which were not 3 option passes for SMU's side of the net.
Carlson the assist, Jones the kill. Mustangs get it back, Schilling will serve. Glass the back set, Williams blocked at the net, and it drops for the SMU point.
And great block by SMU there, recognizing Taylor Williams is on the right side, and she's nice close there by SMU's block. Duke's coverage has to be better. You have to cover so that your hitters have confidence to swing big like that every time.
A lot of time for Glass to process it, goes to Goss, and the point goes to the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Goss just powering through that block, doing a really good job. Again, I'll say it all night, but she is always up and available, and it took her being up and available as the ball comes into Charlotte Glass's hands allows for that really quick timing set.
Scoring opportunity taken advantage of. Zubcevic just drops it down. And Duke's back within 2 here in set number 2.
Yeah, and those are the opportunities Duke has to take advantage of, which they are. The overpasses, the scramble plays, staying patient and taking advantage of those.
Carlson up. Jones, wow, she got way up there.
She's really going and attacking that right back area of Duke's court, which, again, you have your setter and right back, so that's a smart play. You take her out by having her pass the first ball. Now Duke's going to scramble offensively and not be in system.
Glass across, Zubcevic tips it over top of the block attempt. Blue Devils hanging in there.
They are. They're doing a good job of staying patient and making the right plays at the right time, not trying to do too much. They've also really eliminated a lot of their unforced errors in this set.
Duke controls it. Zubcevic tipped a couple of times, has to go over. Elo, Glass outside. And the tap over unsuccessful for Hamlin. There's a look for SMU. Williams saved it, tipped again and over the net, but Jones is there. Onyanwu blocked, and Duke scores the point.
Awesome rally there. Great scrappiness by Duke's side, keeping it alive. And then when the moment where they can capitalize on a block comes, they do. Double block there on Onyanwu, knowing that she is a offensive threat. Great job by Duke's defense.
And a service ace to tie it.
Duke's got the momentum on their side. They need to keep this momentum going. And that is not what the type of service error you want to happen in a moment where you have the momentum.
So that makes it 15-14 SMU as we break a contentious second set. 7 team in the country.
Yeah, they're doing a really great job controlling their side, controlling the ball, hanging in there in long rallies, and first ball contact has definitely improved this set for Duke, which has allowed them to run their offense and get their middles involved more.
Out for Rogers, dug up. Godshaw keeps it alive, but it's right back to SMU. Onyanwu has it knocked away, but out of bounds. And SMU gets the point.
Yeah, and good recognition there on Onyanwu. A good swing on there, but Ngazi Elo was right on her. So Duke's block is really making some good touches there. I know that one went out of bounds, but they're starting to get in rhythm with the SMU hitters.
Glass has to go back for that set. Zubcevic, a big swing, but out of bounds. SMU the point. That's 2 in a row following the break. Williams too strong on the first pass on Yanwu, makes easy work of it. So now 3-0 scoring run for SMU, and Duke calls a timeout, maybe trying to revert some of that mojo coming out of the prior break. 4-point advantage in the second set for SMU. Sunday setup of these weekends, and when talking about the inexperience of her Duke team, she mentioned we aspire to get better at keeping the energy from a Friday effort and taking that into Sunday, right? She felt like a lot of the Sundays during these weekends, they've kind of fallen flat. That's certainly not the case today. Putting up a fight against SMU in set number 1 as they are here in set number 2.
Absolutely, they're definitely coming out a lot more focused, a lot more in rhythm on this Sunday match.
Another one goes the way of the Mustangs. So that's 2 in a row after the Duke timeout. 5 in a row overall. Glass for Zubcevic. Carlson for Jones from the backside again. A 6-0 scoring run and now 10 kills for Malaya Jones. 7-point advantage. ACC Network is the home of ACC championships. And finally some reprieve for the Duke Blue Devils. A service error out of the timeout. Breaks a 6-0 scoring run.
And this is an interesting rotation for Duke because you've got Ngozi Elo in the front row, and she's been doing really well in that slide set behind Charlotte Glass. So that's someone that, you know, you'd hope Charlotte Glass gets involved with because she was so successful in that earlier in the set.
Couple straight for Duke after the long pass. Carlson up for Rogers, and it blows through everybody on Duke's side.
Yeah, she's just hitting right over Charlotte Glass, and she's doing the best she can to slow that down, but that is a hard and heavy ball to try to stop.
If in system, SMU has been hard to stop for the Blue Devils. Glass back for Elo, who had to reach back with her left to get an attempt at it. Rogers out of system, and it's blocked. Glass and Elo combine for the effort.
Great defensive effort there by Duke, recognizing SMU clearly out of system. Who are they going to go to? The outside. They're setting up, waiting for her, and they make a nice close block on Kennedy Rogers.
Zubcevic powers it, but into the net.
We're seeing some more missed serves on both sides late in this second set. SMU with the few key missed serves in the net. Now Duke.
Glass tried the off speed, but it was stuffed by Rogers.
Yeah, Charlotte Glass being a lefty, I'd love to see her just take a rip at that ball, hitting sharp angle like she can, being a lefty in that position, instead of trying to swipe that over against a really big block like Kennedy Rogers provides.
Glass ahead, gets it right back to Williams, and it was a little off balance from the start. And that secures the second set for SMU. 25-17 the count. They go up 2-0 as we make our way to the third at Cameron Indoor Stadium when we come back. On
this Duke side.
There's Glass, back set, and it's sent long out of bounds. Point goes to SMU. Trying to get Avery Hamlin back involved. Avery Carlson's serve. Glass up, was looking for Brianna Goss, but overshot it.
Yeah, and that's a set that they've been in sync with pretty well today. So I don't think that should happen too often. Maybe just a little bit of a miscue, but love to see Charlotte Glass try to go back to Brianna Goss.
Glass back out, and Hamlin gets it.
A nice ball there by Avery Hamlin, going for the high hands. She's really good at hitting off of the hands of the block. And that's something that Coach Nagel talked about as a strength of hers, and that came in clutch there.
Hammered, and the point goes to Kennedy Rogers and the Mustangs.
Really nice ball, and she just comes up and rips the ball. The set was a little bit inside, and she just flies and reaches that ball at a really nice high point. There was no block in the way for that ball.
That's her 9th kill. Now on the service line, creates an opportunity, and SMU quickly scores another.
Absolutely, and there you see how an aggressive serve can translate into an opportunity, like you said, for an overpass, which SMU took full advantage of.
Rogers, another powerful serve. Zubcevic dug up by Schilling on the other side for SMU. Glass, Godshaw, Zubcevic, right to Rogers. Carlson across. Now Duke with a chance at it. Zubcevic, another Schilling dig, out for Jones. That's the point.
And watch Avery Carlson, the SMU setter, when she sets, her location is so consistent. Whether the ball is in system or off the net, she's putting the ball into the same place every time, and her hitters don't ever have to second guess where they should approach to. They can approach confidently no matter where the ball is passed.
Glass up, Elo right down, but Schilling there. And SMU comes away with it.
Great dig by Schilling, just gets in front of a heavy fastball from Ngazi Elo and allows SMU to convert.
Gentry Lamarand, the outside hitter, seeing her first action on the finish there for the Mustangs. Glass out for Zubcevic and dunks it too far out of bounds.
Another pretty good ball up by Laura Ingram. I mean, not nailing the 3 ball, but Charlotte Glass could do something with it. It's just a little bit too low for Ashby Zubcevic to do anything with it.
Duke calls a timeout. 6 points the deficit in their third set. For the Blue Devils. Glass with the setup for Zubcevic, who creates some confusion and gets it for the Blue Devils.
I think that was a bit of a luck on her side with that connection there. It seemed like it was a set was a little bit too high for the speed at which Zubcevic was approaching, but she did a smart play, keeping it in play right above the block.
6th service error of the afternoon for the Blue Devils. Ingram first to it, up for Zubcevic. That's the second hit, Zubcevic to get it over. And now Carlson up for Onyanwu in system. They keep it alive. Jones gets it over. Now Glass with an in-system look. Zubcevic taps it over. And Jones dug up by Godshaw. And it's rejected but out of bounds. Duke gets the point. they have not prevailed on many of those longer rallies that we've seen in this one.
Absolutely, and what a dig by Gottschall there. Wide open net against Jones, and then a good transition there right off the right-hand block out of bounds. Like you said, just a really good display of patience and grit there on the Duke side. But man,
another service
had the
error.
momentum,
Yep.
and then right into the net.
It's a couple in a row.
Especially after a long rally, you don't sometimes realize kind of how out of breath you are and maybe how high your adrenaline is going, so you have to take a moment to pause and just say, hey, let me get the ball in, and then let's keep that momentum building.
That one skims over. Glass up for Elo, and it's out of bounds. And you obviously would be far better to speak about this than I, but not all points are created the same, right? They count the same in the score, but after a long, grueling rally like that, there's a lot to be gained by maintaining service, maintaining a rally.
Absolutely. There are those points in the game where you lose them, they feel like 5 points, right? Or it can generate 5 points if you keep that momentum going on your side, and a lot of that is experience and understanding the ebbs and the flow of the game, and that's something that Duke will have to continue to work on.
It certainly seems like the majority of those have gone SMU's way. And just when Duke got one on their own side, they give it up with a service error, as SMU does here. And Ghazi Elo to serve. And it was going to be long, but Sarah Frazee unable to get out of the way.
Oh, and you know she is so frustrated because that was going long, and it just kind of floated a little bit inside as she was going to go to the line and got her.
So it's an ace for Elo, and SMU gets a clean look for Anyanwu on the other side.
Good rebound there by SMU. Getting Mills involved in that transition and executing.
Avery Carlson now 27 assists. And another one goes long. Wow, both teams plagued with that a bit.
Yeah, that float serves are just kind of sometimes take a life of their own, and you really got to tell that one kind of floated up and out versus having that downward trajectory.
Williams for Duke tucks it in on the sideline.
Nice line shot there by Taylor Williams, seeing line open and threading the needle. Out of system play, right over the block of Avery Carlson to that deep corner pocket. Really smart play by Taylor Williams.
Carlson ahead. It's affected up at the net. So Glass. Hamlin gets it over. Now back to SMU. Gottschall, another impressive dig. Williams off of the glass set. Duke gets the point.
Great defensive scramble there by SMU, but really nice job on Duke's side of keeping a fast tempo and taking some good swings. It seems to be a great dig there by Gottschall. A nice set to Taylor Williams, who just hit middle back, making SMU's defense move and not be able to control that ball.
Blue Devils back to putting up a fight here in the third set. Gottschall ahead. Williams sends it too long, but it was touched, and Duke gets the point. So here we go. Blue Devils back within 3.
Yeah.
Present it.
It's like the replay flag, right?
So here's another look at it.
I'll be honest, I did not think there was a touch on the ball. Now I can see why the line judge might have thought, because that right hand.
Yeah, Anyanwu, maybe her right pinky here.
But the ball does not change spin. And I don't see any fingers flailing back. But yeah, Yeah, I don't see a touch on that ball. I think it's going to be overturned if I had to make a call myself, but that's why we're not the expert.
That last frame there, it looked to be some space between the pinky right there.
Right there, you can see a gap.
Right, there seems to be a gap. So if there was contact, I mean, it was grazed.
After the call is overturned, SMU will retain their challenge.
So the call overturned. Almost an overpass. Goss with a battle at the net to get it over for Duke. And a first touch goes awry. Point to SMU.
And these are the types of plays we saw in set 2 where SMU really started to take a lead. Duke making some defensive errors, not keeping the ball in play, right? Not allowing themselves to do something with it. And so Duke has to really tighten up here and get the ball back under control on their side.
Last a running set for Hamlin. Back set. Goss has to reach all the way back for it. Off speed attempt for SMU. Hamlin. SMU too far ahead, but they scramble and just tap it across.
Yeah, that was on both sides. Just one of those rallies where you're like, something funky is going to happen. It's just a little bit messy on both sides. No one's really settling and taking control of the ball on their side of the court. So both teams probably just saying mentally, let's just shake that one off and restart.
Casey Battenhorst to the serve, just gets over and gets the point for SMU. So some separation here for the Mustangs.
Battenhorst comes from a volleyball family. 2 sisters played in college. So you know they have to have some epic pepper sessions at their home.
Awkward receiving of that serve by Duke, but they hang in there. Glass back set, Williams. And it's out of bounds, Duke's point.
Yeah, nice swing here by Taylor Williams, taking advantage of the gap in the block. SMU's defense just not able to handle it.
Carlson rejected. And it's in on a big swing.
And that's where the speed at which SMU runs their offense really causes a lot of trouble for teams. You can see that fast outside set. Duke's block couldn't get set up, and so then if the block's not set up, the defense can't get set up. And they're not really sure what gap to defend, and so you can see Taylor Williams getting caught off guard there as a result of that fast offensive set to the outside pin by SMU.
Zubčević right up against the net. Gottschall, the dig that goes over. Keeping it alive. Overpass saved by SMU. Up for Goss. It gets by Schilling, and Duke gets the point.
Duke taking a nice job. Duke doing a nice job taking control of that ball in that transitional rally. So nice ball, good in-system set. A little bit low for Brianna Goss, but she's able to punch it through and get that rally to win the point on their side.
That was effectively just a hair off target, I think, as SMU gets it back. Another impressive effort by Gottschall to try to dig that one up for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and that SMU offensive speed is just really causing a lot of problems for Duke's block and not allowing them to get set up, and then it's causing, you can see all the miscues on the defensive side. So when you have a fast offense like that, you have to see where your hitters are and make your commits a lot sooner than you typically would.
Too strong for Kennedy Rogers. Service error number 8 on the day for SMU. Knocked away at the net, but out of bounds. Mustangs point.
Ooh, that swing had some speed on it. You could see it. Took Charlotte Glass's left hand way back.
Last back set, Elo blocked. Lamarand up there, solo.
And Duke having early success with that slide behind the setter, but SMU's blockers read it all day. Nice high hand closing back to the center of the court.
Zubcevic on a clean look from Glass, gets it back for Duke.
And the way Zubcevic is playing, she's really steady, and as a freshman, you wouldn't necessarily think of her as a freshman. She really isn't. She always seems really composed, never seems rattled, no matter who she's playing. And for a freshman to be playing all 6 rotations, that's a lot on your shoulders, and she does a really good job handling it.
Favor on Yanwu, gets it for SMU as they are approaching the closing points of set number 3 here. Libero, or defensive specialist rather, Mia Silva on the serve, and it goes out.
This is the point of the game where SMU, their focus is just take control of the ball, put the pedal to the metal, finish strong, and if Duke can get on some rallies here, they can cause some trouble, just like that. This is a good momentum shift potentially for Duke, that they can rattle off a few points here and close that gap. There is definitely still enough time in this game that Duke is not totally out of this.
That dropped right behind Sarah Frazee, who tried to get out of the way of the one earlier and couldn't.
Smart offensively by SMU going after that area 5 on the court where Ngazi Elo is playing defense. You know, she's a middle. Middles don't typically play defense, so they recognize that and they attack it.
Lamarand almost gets an overpass. Glass shoves it over. And it's out for Shear for a point. And SMU is within 2 of polishing off the 3rd set.
Yeah, and right over the block, you can see Charlotte Glass getting hesitant right there because she didn't know if it was going to go 3 or the outside, so she was delayed a little bit.
Timeout called by Duke. SMU 2 points away from finishing it off. What a way to tip off the college hoops season. Duke finds a point as they try to compete in this 3rd set. SMU winners in sets 1 and 2, 2 points away from closing out a victory in straight sets. Avery Carlson, a little awkward pass. Brianna Goss finds some space toward the back of the defense.
Duke not giving up quite yet. Taking advantage of some scramble plays on SMU's side. SMU tell themselves, hey, let's clean it up, lock it in, and finish this game.
Schilling Carlson on Yanwu, unsuccessful. They have a 2nd attempt, and Goss and Williams are there to stop it for the Blue Devils.
There was some tight play there at the net. Duke ultimately coming away with it, but I think they're just making sure everyone's ankles and knees are okay. Seemed like some awkward landing there in that replay.
Carlson ahead for Shear. Duke handles it okay. Onyanwu has it sent back again. Carlson tries the off-speed. Godshall's dig, and away we go. Onyanwu with a clean look sliding to the outside, and it is now match point.
Yeah, Duke trying to keep it alive, ping-ponging it back up, some good scrappiness, but SMU's offense just kicking into full gear with Onyanwu with a killer back one set.
33 assists for Avery Carlson. Favor Onyanwu now with double-digit kills on the afternoon. Charlotte Glass out for Avery Hamlin. SMU with a try now. Carlson. Shear can't handle it.
Yeah, just a bit of a missed time there on a fast outside set. She almost came in too early and was on her way down. Not able to make a good swing on that ball.
Carlson up for Shear. Williams the dig. Subjevic has it sent back but out of bounds. And the Blue Devils hang in there. Look at Duke making this third set tight as well. Carlson up for Shear. And that closes it for the Mustangs. They bounce back after falling to number 21 North Carolina on the road on Friday, and they clean up the weekend with a straight sets victory over the Duke Blue Devils, who did not make it easy.
There was a lot of good things on the Duke side today and a lot of promise that they saw, and I think there's a lot to be excited for the Duke Blue Devils. They had to just string together a few more of those consistent points and not let the ups and downs be so drastic. But when that SMU engine gets going, whew, it is a fast and furious engine. So it's gonna be fun to watch them through the remainder of this season.
No doubt, even down a couple of starters, the offense looked great for the Mustangs in this one. Straight sets victory over the Blue Devils. For Christina Lingley, our producer Blake Woodard, and the rest of our great ACC Network Extra crew, I'm Darren Vaughn. So long. Thanks for joining us from Cameron Indoor Stadium.